This episode of The Professors is brought to you by Blackborder.com. Check out our sponsor site today for all the greatest Magic 2011 products. Also, a special thanks goes to The Drowned God. Trading Magic cards on YouTube is quickly becoming the new way to trade, so subscribe to The Drowned God for videos on trading, knowing a fair trade, and to find out who the safe traders are. His channel has become the most popular and reliable trading channel on YouTube, so go check out youtube.com/The Drowned God today.
Double rainbow on the way across the sky. So intense. Double rainbow on the way across the sky. Wow, wow, oh my God, look at that rainbow. Double complete rainbow. Oh my God. Too much. Oh my God, it's so hard. I can't even capture it on my camera.
Slightly more skill intensive. I think you have to make your better picks on your uncommons and whatnot as much as you have available to you.
It's pretty much the same format, more or less, except I'm a big fan of the old Windrakes and the blue flyers, but they shifted them over to white.
White and blue are pretty good in this set, and I think black got a little bit of a boost.
Pretty much the same. They've added some complexity to some cards before that were much simpler.
There's actually might be some archetypes, and it might not just be who opens the biggest bomb, but those Titans are pretty big.
But I was really upset that they reprinted Bane Slayer Angel and Lightning Bolt because they've just been wrecking the power curve.
The core sets have gotten better. If you look at the power level for a lot of the creatures, like you have a 3/2 for 2 mana, even though it's 2 green, it's not generic mana, it's still pretty good. And if you also look at some of the spells that they put into the core set, like Jace's Ingenuity wouldn't have been printed in other core sets. Like, Jace's Ingenuity is strict to this core set and it's really good.
The power is spread all over the colors now. That card being a rare makes the set a lot better. I mean, there's M10, I remember being in Boston last year and everybody screaming, you know, oh, Howlin' Night Pack into Overrun every time. They're huge bombs, but the whole set is really balanced as a whole. You're going for the big bomb to finish most people off, as opposed to like a Zendikar format where the early drops are more crucial. This seems to have a little bit of a higher curve than M10 did. It seems to be a little bit slower. I don't think it's bad. I think it adds probably a new dimension.
The set's pretty slow. Like with M10, I didn't think a curve was super important.
The curve helps a lot. It helps you get the early beats in or survive to the crucial turns.
I think it's pretty important in all formats to have your deck curve out well.
The curve in M11 is kind of open to whatever the player wants to do. If you want to make a fast, aggressive, low curve deck, you can do that. If you want to try to be more defensive, go for the late game, you know, big blockers, stuff like that, late game bombs. You know, the options are kind of wide open.
So intense.
It has all of the great tournament stuff from M10, like Bane Slayer Angel and Lightning Bolt. It'll outsell M10.
The value seems to be spread out more along both the mythics and the regular rares.
The financial value's got to be way up there. M10 may have had a slight edge on it.
The average price of a rare in a pack is actually $6.11. If you open a box of M11, on average you will make $200 for every $100 you actually spend.
I think Rosy Eldrazi is actually more expensive.
I wish Jace the Mind Sculptor was in.
Bane Slayer still costs a lot.
Cycle of Titans is very exciting. Some of those guys might carry a pretty hefty price tag.
Yeah, I think that's a little ridiculous.
I think he has the potential of being really good in Eldrazi decks, which is something that any other deck can really beat pretty easily, especially with Mana Leak in the format.
As far as the mythics were, it was all about the Titans, and they seem good, but definitely not a $30 card.
It's just really hyped right now, and I don't think anybody should try and pick them up for anything over $20. It just doesn't seem financially in the right state of mind for that kind of card.
Double rainbow all the way across the sky.
Sun Titan. Conundrum Sphinx. Oh my god, that card is so good. Jace's Ingenuity and Mana Leak, I'm really excited to be able to play.
Ley lines, I think, were a nice flavor to bring back. I think the blue one is pretty ridiculous.
I really like the Nantucket Shade is back.
Flattery look. It seems like it should be insane as a 5/5 for 3.
Time reversal.
Chandra's Outrage.
I really like Obstin Bailoff. It's very good against the Jund matchup. It's very good against anyone who decides to go Grixis Control.
My Todic's line.
The fixed Overrun, I really like. I think that's a great card. It kind of fixed the cheating problem with Overrun where you just play 100 1/1s and then get them all as 4/4. So now if you have a team of just 1/1s, all they're going to do is get +1/+1.
Any of the blue cards.
Wow, wow, oh my God, look at that rainbow.
I'm not really really sure yet. It seems like it kind of hit a wall, and there's no one moving past that. Like there's like the 4 or 5 top decks, and there doesn't seem to be that much innovation going on right now with them.
Since it's already so wide open, it's just going to become even better.
Because it brings a lot of splashy new cards to the table. Seeing which Titans are going to be good and the effect that they have on the game. Especially Primeval Titan, I think, opens up a lot of play space.
I am not 100% sure if it's going to affect Standard that much. I think a lot of the blue-white tap-out decks are going to cut 4 cards for a Leyline of Anticipation.
The direction blue-white is going in is kind of a more classic sense. Counter Magic is back, the instant speed card draw at the end of your opponent's turn.
Blue-white control, I haven't seen much of it all lately. It seemed like everybody was playing Conscription, or they had splashed red and were playing Super Friends. I mean, Mana Leak sure helps.
It's gonna be a lot better just because of Mana Leak. Like people have Mana Leak stuff on turn 2 and it'll a lot.
I think I can finally drop the red out of the Planeswalker control deck and just run straight blue-white.
Mana Leak's just good. It's like, it's just good. I don't have another adjective for it.
If I can play my Treasure Hunt as an instant, why wouldn't I mulligan the 6 or 5? Because I'm going to get my cards back in there.
Baneslayer got a lot worse since green now has access to Plummet, red has access to Combustion.
There's just as much hate for Jund as always. It still has raw power. I mean, Bloodbraid, Blightning, and Batuminous Blasts are still really hard to beat.
Either Mana Leak for blue-white will indirectly push Jund out of the top deck position and make blue-white or anything that can run Mana Leak better.
Jund is Jund. It's going to hang on for as long as it can. It's definitely going to be boarding in the Black Leyline in order to cancel out Vengevines, the Resurrecting Baylock.
It's going to turn into the type of Jund that can beat the mirror very easily with the option of Baloth in the main.
Green ramp deck with Primeval Titan, probably some kind of Eldrazi deck. It's gonna make Turboland a lot better.
Something with Fauna Shaman.
It just seems more inviting for players who, while they aren't new, have only been playing Standard for so long. I was not a big fan of the old Extended.
At first, I was mad about it because I planned to play Hypergenesis. I think that was going to be the best deck. Wizards made a smart move because, cards that are just rotating out of Standard should be immediately good for something.
I like it just because I've never played an Extended. I feel bad for the people that own cards like Tarmogoyf.
I was never able to touch the extended card base before, and as thus I didn't play it a lot, and I feel like this change made it a lot more accessible to new players. And I know old players that dislike it, and I can totally sympathize with them, but I know Wizards recently has been taking a lot of stance of making things more friendly for new players to approach, and I think it does a good job of that.
I lost some money. The people who invested money recently are getting a benefit, and people like me who invested money 5 years ago when Ravnica was out, I mean, we kind of take a hit, but I love the format. I love the idea of the format. I love the decks that are going to be competitive in the format.
I lost a lot of money. A lot of money.
Enough money that you can't afford to wear your glasses anymore?
Yes. I have to sell my glasses.
There's a lot of different things you can do with that format. There are different decks that can deal with both Jund and Fairies. The problem is that I'm not sure with the new Fairy build if they're just too powerful.
Playing against his opponent in his Star City 5K, who's also 5-0. His opponent plays an Esper Charm, and he obviously means to draw cards, and he says, targeting me. And Cedric says, targeting you, and he says, yeah, targeting me. So they call over a judge, and the judge says, discard 2 cards. And he's like, what? And it's because the only mode on Esper Charm that says the targets is discard.
You need to be very careful with your terminology when playing Magic.
I'm on Seth Phillips' side. I don't think there was anything wrong with the play he made. His opponent should have clearly and emphatically told him what he was trying to do.
I completely agree with Cedric Phillips.
He did the right thing.
I would probably not call somebody on it.
I say play really lightly. Don't make him have to discard 2 cards.
If you played a card for so long that you don't understand all the modes, and you're in a championship situation, I don't care if you've been playing for 6 or 7 or even 10 hours. You got to keep yourself set. I mean, this game is like a sport in a sense, where you train hard, you do the best you can, and you keep your mind sharp and you stay awake.
And he brings up a great opinion. If you were at a PTQ, like you're 7-1, you can't draw into top 8. your opponent makes a misplay that could make them lose the game, would you call them on it? I know I sure would, because I'm a scumbag.
At an F&M, I think you could give somebody the benefit of the doubt. You could say, well, wait a minute, you know, you're going to draw cards, or, you know, specify what mode you're saying.
At an F&M, I'll try and help newer players not make play mistakes, because it's a, you know, it's a much more casual environment. If I was at a PTQ, absolutely.
I wouldn't do that at a F&M, most likely.
Players in enchantment. See? I'm gonna keep this.
I am gonna punch you in the face.
That is the baddest f***ing rainbow I've ever seen.
You know, obviously, I mean,
I wouldn't put it past Jundex to start playing it.
What do you think about standard decks?
I don't think that was necessary at all in Legacy. But overall, I guess it's healthy for the environment, for the extended environment.
Advertising that uses sex to sell it or whatever.
Like the only archetypes are, I will punch you in the face.